And here it comes.
Hello and welcome to the 15th round of competition here at Grand Prix Salt Lake City, Standard Constructed Grand Prix. I'm Ben Swartz, joined here in the booth by Rashad Miller. And on the left of your screen, we've got Michael Hetrick using his red-green aggressive deck, facing off against a... Where is Jackie Lee? Jackie Lee's talking to a judge, it looks like. That should be Jackie Lee, also playing a red-green aggressive deck.
Well, use your imaginations. That would be Jackie Lee. And it's the last round win and in. The winner of this will be in top 8. Yeah, and this is a red-green mirror.
Yep.
Don't know exactly how close the lists were. I know we saw both of these players over the course of this weekend. We saw Jackie Lee a couple of times, I think. We definitely saw
Michael Hetrick
once, and he was one of the undefeateds on day one.
The big difference in Michael Hetrick's list is he's got a pair of Brimstone Volleys over a pair of Galvanic Blasts that are in Jackie's deck. He also has a singleton Garrick Relentless. Okay. Jackie Lee was stepping out to get a drink of water, and now play has started. Turn 1, land go for Michael, and land go for Jackie. No turn 1 accelerant.
The true mirror.
Forced go for Michael. No Strangleroot Geist on 2.
It's like they're playing checkers against each other and chose to copy, mimic the others.
Is that a good strategy in checkers?
No. And yes.
Looks like Jackie does have a turn 2 play in the form of Green Sun Zenith for 1.
So that's going to go and get a mana source. So
yep.
Not as good as Green Sun Zenith for 0 is in Legacy. But, you know, it makes do.
Yep. So I get Birds of Paradise for Jackie Lee.
Draft number 26.
And she'll pass the turn back to Michael. Hopefully he's got a third turn play. Maybe Green Sun Zenith for Strangleroot Geist.
Yeah, possibly. Or, you know, lay a sword. Even though sword isn't really good right now, especially without a creature on the board to pick up the sword the next turn.
Yeah.
But both players they're just developing their mana base, and effectively Jackie Lee has taken the play draw lead back by you know going from 2 to 3 mana and going threatening to have 4 next turn.
Hetrick plays on Vastin Pilgrim, ramping him up to 4 lands or 4 mana sources, and let's see if Jackie Lee starts to make sparks fly.
Jackie Lee has a Strangleroot Geist in her hand, but she couldn't play a turn 2 because of the double red.
Okay.
She didn't have double green. So, looks like she's thinking about playing it now.
Taps Mountains, going to Galvanic Blast the Vastin's Pilgrim. And now we've got the deck lists. And she'll play a Sword of Feast and Famine after that Galvanic Blast. So now Michael, if he's stuck on 3 lands, looks like he drew a forest, so he'll be able to cast
he has a checklist card.
Huntmaster of the Fells is likely what he's going to play. There you go. Huntmaster of the Fells from Dark Ascension will gain Mike 2 life, putting him at 22, and put a 2/2 Wolf token into play. But the protection from Green that the Sword of Feast and Famine will grant Jackie.
It's going to be a little bit of a problem, probably. And the extra 2 toughness is going to put it out of the range of the Galvanic Blasts. Now, luckily, Michael is actually playing Brimstone Volley, so he does have a way to get rid of the bird if the bird does become equipped.
I think Jackie's play here is to play Strangleroot Geist and equip it with Sword of Feast and Famine, and then untap her lands and do something post-combat. Okay. Exciting.
Looks like that's what she's going to do.
Looks like she also has a Thrun for post-combat. So yeah, she's going to get in for 4 unblockable. Michael is going to have to discard a card. She's going to untap her lands.
Players in Commander Pod number 5, please proceed to the public event stage. Commander Pod 5, please come to the public event stage.
Cast Landwar Elf, cast Thrun, set up for Hellrider the following turn.
Yeah, this is definitely a matchup where there aren't very many, but there's usually 0 sweepers in the main deck. Every now and then, there's a Slack Storm in the sideboards of these decks. But game 1, usually the person with the most creatures is going to be the one who wins it.
Sure. So Michael draws for his turn. He needs a solution to that sword. That sword is really powerful against him.
There we get a good look at Michael thinking about, man, that sure is a lot of creatures.
Yeah.
I only have 2. Well, 3.
And you see Jackie Lee's friend, Melissa DeTora, looking on.
She doesn't look too happy.
She never looks happy.
Not a cheery person?
I haven't seen her cheery, but it looks
So,
like Mike's
wow,
just
that
going
was
to
a
pass
pass.
it.
He has a Brimstone Volley in his hand, so he's probably going to try to negate maybe an equip, as long as it's not on Thrun, or Brimstone Volley a creature that,
Well, Morbid is live now, thanks to Huntmaster transforming into Ravager of the Fells, destroying Birds of Paradise. Jackie's going to draw a mountain for her turn.
Is that Hellrider?
I believe so.
Hellrider would be a great play, and that's probably a great target for Brimstone Volley, too.
Yeah. Hellrider, probably re-equip Thrun with Sword of Feast and Famine. And let's see what Jackie ends up doing here.
She may decide to just, go Thrun and Keswick Wolf Run. Go that route.
Oh, maybe.
That Thrun's the Thrun's the threat on the board.
For sure. I mean, it's going to be impossible for Michael to deal with that.
Yeah, and if Jackie really chooses, she could always play defense with the sword, attack with Thrun with the sword, attack, leave and then put the sword back on the Strangler guys to block.
Sure.
For 4 mana, it looks like we're going to go with Hellrider.
Yep, Hellrider comes down for Jackie.
She's thinking, Galvanic Blast can't kill my Hellrider. Let's go.
But a Morbid Brimstone Volley, a normal Brimstone Volley can. She's considering if she wants to re-equip here or just attack in.
Michael started looking at his hand once the Thrun was turning sideways.
Yeah.
As if, well, he definitely wants to interrupt the attack because we want to mitigate those Hellrider triggers, if not, get rid of them all. Or at least never let them exist.
But Jackie's still considering to see if she wants to re-equip Sword of Feast and Famine onto that Thrun.
Maybe she has to read on Galvanic Blast. Or Brimstone Volley. I'm assuming we're in combat.
Yeah, beginning combat step.
So there will not be any changes on where the equipment resides, and it looks like there's going to be attack with both.
And Strangleroot Geist is going to get in for 4 more from Thrun, dropping Mike down to 10. He's going to have to discard a land.
Open players Nate Andres and Christopher
Now
Cabal,
Jackie Lee
please
can
come
re-equip
to the
that
public event stage. Nate
sword
Andres and
to
Christopher
her
Cabal to the
Llanowar
public
Elves
event
to
stage,
create a nice
please.
little blocker.
Yeah. Not only is it a blocker, but there's a threat of using the Wolf Run to increase his power even more to take out the Ravager of the Fells if it decides to attack.
That would make it even give Llanowar Elves 4 power. Just enough mana.
Well, you could give it 5. You could tap the Llanowar Elves also after the block.
What are you talking about?
Well, you use 2 to equip it.
Right.
1, 2...
To activate Wolf Run, and then you tap the Wolf Run to
3.
activate it. And then 1 is
And then
X.
1 more. Okay, so 4.
Jackie, considering, both these players don't want to make sure that they don't make a mistake, play a little bit more slowly than they're used to. A lot on the line here. Top 8 contention here. So it looks like Jackie just passes the turn back. I think a Phyrexian Metamorph was drawn for Mr. Hetrick.
It's the answer for Thrun.
That's true.
But is that enough?
Well, he's going to take 2 to be able to cast it. And
Take 2, go to 8. It might be pretty close to losing. Maybe he's considering copying the sword.
Okay.
Which doesn't really stop him from losing.
I mean, that wolf run is really going to do some damage.
Maybe copy... Well, if he copies the Ravager, then he gets a Ravager of the Fells. It can't transform.
Yeah, so he's going to cast that Metamorph. Falling to 8 life. What is he going to choose to copy? Looks like form of...
It's a sword.
Sword, okay. Equipped to my wolf token, attack.
Untap all his land.
Yep. Jackie discards a card, but I don't think she has any cards in her hand.
Nope, she's cardless.
He's going to untap, play another land, re-equip to Ravager of the Fells. But isn't Mike just dead here?
Well, Thrawn can pick up... If we leave the sword where it is, we can get +3 out of the wolf run.
If she draws a land, he's dead. And that's a forest, right? Yep. Because then wolf run can pump up the Strangleroot Geist for 4. So Strangleroot Geist is already 4 power, +4 is 8. Jackie doing the math right now. Yep, attack him with my 2 creatures. You block Thrun. I use Wolf Run to give my Strangleroot Geist +4, +7 trample, and Michael Hetrick scoops him up. But Jackie Lee wins the first game here of round 15. You can see the crowd around the future match area. Everybody wants to know.
I mean, there's some high-profile matches going on over there, and they're not only named players. This is for top 8.
Yeah.
These matches, these players are playing for top 8. This is what the last round is all about. Everyone wants to see who's making top 8. They want to see how they're making top 8. They want to see great magic. And you guys are watching great magic right now on GG's Live.
So let's take a look at these players' sideboards as they go into game 2. They're playing, identical decks, identical archetypes, but their sideboards vary greatly. So why don't you tell me a little bit about Jackie Lee's sideboard, Rashad?
Well, Jackie Lee, we got some green cards. We got some red cards.
Wow,
Whoa, and we have a black card. We have a Dismember in this sideboard. We're looking at her sideboard. She has like Traitor's Blood and Mana Bars, which we saw in one of our earlier matches. She has a couple of Garrick Relentlesses, Thrun, Ancient Grudge, Combust, which is actually a pretty good card against white decks. Not a lot of blue targets for it nowadays that that have 5 toughness.
I mean, you can use it to get rid of, a Delver.
Yeah, I guess, but, red has a lot of ways to get rid of Delver.
Yeah.
One Sword of War piece and the additional Feast and Famine, which is probably going to come in. Actually, both these swords can come in.
Mike Hetrick sideboard. He's got a Primeval Titan. I don't know if he wants to bring that one in, but interesting. Active Aggression. He'll bring in Increasing Savagery. I don't think he wants to bring it. I was talking to his playtest partner, Ricky Sitter, yesterday, and he said he brings Increasing Savagery in against the ramp decks. It's the only way that they think they could win.
But they can keep up with the 6/6s?
Yeah. Acidic Slime and Batterskull and Garrick Primal Hunter. Sword of Feast and Famine also. Mana Barbs, Ancient Grudge, and Arc Trail. So likely bringing that Ancient Grudge. Maybe the Garrick Primal Hunter. I wonder, how much experience he has in this matchup. Jackie Lee, has been playing this red-green deck for quite a while, so she probably has had some experience in the mirror match. She knows what's important, what sideboard cards exactly bring in. I'm sure Michael Hetrick has thought about that a lot, but
yeah, I'd have to think that there has at least been some playtesting going on with the mirror match, unless this is a deck that Michael picked up this weekend, Saturday, which happens a lot at GPs. But if this is a deck that he's been playing for a while, which I'm not sure because I haven't been following.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
What he's been doing in his standard career for the past few weeks, maybe a month. You'd have to think that there's some experience, even if it's not tournament experience. There has to be some playtesting experiences, that's there.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you there. Do we have an update maybe from another match from our reporter on the floor, Brian David Marshall?
No, he doesn't like us enough to do that. He just comes in. At least he fixed his hair. That was nice.
Did he?
Well,
I think you're just looking at his good side.
Oh, is that the good? All right, players are drawing their hands. Let's see. Are we keeping 7?
Michael Hetrick looks at his hand. Going into the second game here of round 15. Let's see if he ends up keeping it.
Jackie had a bunch of land in the Green Sun Zenith and an elf, and a couple of mana accelerants. So this is kind of a bunch of mana, one threat hand. I don't know if that one threat is good enough for Jackie. I mean, what threat do you pick in this matchup?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Maybe Thrun or Hunt Master of the Fells?
Make a turn 3 Thrun?
Or even a 6 to, axe one of Michael's lands. I don't know. I think Jackie Lee's considering whether or not she wants to keep here.
It's a pretty tough keep, I think. You're relying a lot on what you draw, or the fact that Michael's hand's going to be really slow. Michael's going to mulligan, and it looks like Jackie's not sure yet what she wants to do. But if knowing that Michael's going to 6, possibly that 6-card hand is going to be considerably slower than Jackie's 7-card hand that she has right now.
Yeah.
She goes turn 1 elf, turn 2 bird, maybe draw. She could draw anything. Turn 3 has the ability to Zenith up, something substantial. Or wait to turn 4 and then you use Zenith to get something really substantial.
Yeah. It looked like the other feature match, Cuneo versus... I forget who he was playing against. It finished. Cuneo versus Glacier had finished, but I don't know the result of that match.
Well, if it went that fast...
Probably
and they played
Glacier,
it out,
yeah.
I would say the Glacier won because Cuneo's deck is really slow.
That's true.
I mean, I love watching it. It's so grindy and traditional white-blue control-ish.
Sure.
But I don't think it can win a game that fast unless there was a lack of resistance in any way from David Glacier.
Well, play here has started. Both players open with a Llanowar Elves.
So Jackie drew a land.
Ooh, that's not good. Hetrick gets in, and Jackie will be happy to trade it. But Hetrick has a Birds of Paradise for her. I think Jackie also has a Birds of Paradise, so they have got.
And I think she has another Llanowar Elf that she picked up. Ooh, Stranglegeist.
That was a good one. But I do see an active aggression from Michael Hetrick that he boarded in. So in case Jackie gets a big creature, Michael can take it and use it on a key turn.
Also, it looks like we're going to ramp up to 5 mana to try to go for a Green Sun Zenith for a 4-drop.
Okay. And Jackie thinks that's good. She'll play Mountain here and do just that. Wonder what 4-drop she'll go ahead and get. Either Hunt Master of the Fells or Thrun.
Possibly Thrun.
Yeah, maybe.
Depending on if she's expecting any type of sideboard shenanigans that can target her creatures. But it looks like Hunt Master of the Fells is a play.
Okay, so she'll get Hunt Master of the Fells, gain 2 life, go to 22, put a 2/2 Wolf token into play.
I don't know if this is a very good active aggression target.
No, I don't think so either. Hellrider, that's a good.
That's a great active aggression target.
So, Jackie passes the turn back to Michael.
It's a red card that Michael just drew.
Arc Trail.
Okay, Arc Trail.
Arc Trail will take out
Ooh.
Hunt Master and Birds of Paradise, a little 2-for-1.
It's a pretty powerful spell in this matchup.
Yeah. Especially when Jackie's hand has, no more gas except for the Stormbargeist.
Yeah, so, Arc Trail alone may be enough to push this way in the matchup in general, way in Michael's favor. And not only this game, because we just saw how devastating it is. But it looks like there's a sword, which is going to, give some offense for Jackie Lee. 2 mana allows it to equip to the wolf token.
Oh, wow. Which sword is that?
That's, I can't...
Feast and Famine. But it gets, the wolf token gets Galvanic Blast in response to the equip. Jackie passes the turn back to Hetrick. Hetrick just on the land, active aggression.
Active aggression is an instant.
Yep.
So... if Michael wants one more turn, he can
$10
prevent
draft
that sword from attacking him.
Well, he might want to this turn because he's playing a land, so he would just have to discard. But let's see what Jackie does. 2 mana, drawing a Rootgeist. Equip with the sword. and attack in with my 2 creatures. Oh, wow. Jackie attacks him with Landwehr Elf, so Hetrick, when he active aggresses Stormbound Geist, he can block Jackie's Landwehr Elf and pick it off for free. I mean, but Hetrick's still in a tough spot here. No cards in hand, facing down against a Sword of Feast and Famine.
And a Strangler Geist.
Yeah.
A nice bonus play for Michael there.
I mean, he kind of needs it to scrape back into this game.
Yeah.
Brimstone Volley drawn for him.
Which, negates another attack.
Yeah. He's going to have to use it this turn, right? Because would just have to discard it.
Exactly.
And Ancient Grudge drawn for Jackie. That'll be waiting in the leads for her if Michael presents an artifact.
Well, there's the attack, and here's the Brimstone Volley.
Once again, pairings are up for the Star City Standard Open.
I'll re-equip post-combat,
Please find your
says
seats.
Jackie. And she'll pass the turn back to Hetrick.
Let's see if we get another staller off the top, and there's a Huntmaster to fail.
Not quite a staller. I mean,
it's
gain 2 life.
It's a step towards victory.
True.
Samuel Shoup, please.
Jackie, doesn't have a spell, so that's going to transform.
Samuel Shoup.
So yeah, Jackie likely to get in here with Strangleroot Geist, right?
I don't know that she really wants to play defense right now.
Well, I mean, the Huntmaster is going to transform into a 4/4, so potentially Jackie wants to hold back so that Hetrick can't attack. But
well, what's the race? 6 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good race for Jackie.
Well, 6 to 5 plus 2 extra. Right. I guess Jackie can't block because Huntmaster is going to transform and deal 2 damage to the Strangleroot Geist. So unless Jackie wants to get rid of her Strangleroot,
no, can't target it.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
So the
Open Series players.
The Ravager will deal 2 damage to Jackie.
From table 6, Nicholas Lassen versus Sean Collins. Once again, from table 6,
okay, so
Nicholas Lassen versus
Jackie taking
Sean
6,
Collins
going down to 12.
Please proceed to the feature match tent in the back corner of the room.
And Landwehr Elves for Michael. He's going to pass the turn back to Jackie. Jackie draws Sword of War and Peace. Wow.
That's actually a pretty good draw. She's able to gain. Well, she's only able to gain 1 life and only able to, she's not going to get any of the war bonus in the War and Peace. So possibly this is when Jackie Lee wants to play defense.
Well, she makes the clock kind of even, but
a little even. It's 7
to 7.
7 to 7. She's losing that race. Right now, Jackie Lee's at 14.
She gains 1 to go to 15, but yeah. Sword of War and Peace and Sword of Feast and Famine don't really work too well. Jackie.
Depends on how you stack them.
Jackie should untap her lands. It's not a.
Is it required?
It's required.
Yeah, she did it.
Okay.
She's probably like, well, I really can't do anything with the land.
Yeah. Telegraphing that to her opponent.
I think that was telegraphed when the Ravager of the Fells transformed.
Yeah, that's true. Well, who knows? Maybe she wants to, use Ancient Grudge and flash it back.
So Jackie Lee will take 7, go to 8. Well, technically, if with the board state right now, she would win the race by a couple of points of damage.
Ancient Grudge, wow. Ancient Grudge flashback. If Michael Hetrick wants to transform his Huntmaster, he can do that.
Oh, wow. I probably maybe even wait until the Geist attacks before you do that. Unless he really wants to transform his Beastmaster into his Ravager into Huntmaster right now.
I think that's what he wants to do, so he can get the token, and then if Jackie
doesn't do anything,
yeah,
just gets rid of the Geist
so
altogether.
This game has been completely turned around thanks to that 1 Ancient Grudge from Michael Hetrick.
Jackie drew a spell, so it's not transforming yet, and her spell is her own Huntmaster of the Fells. So
I would like everyone to take a moment to look at their wrist.
If Michael passes the turn,
4, you might be a winner. Please come to the public event stage. Once again, if your wrist says 4, 1,
I think
4,
someone may have lost
4,
something.
Please come to the public event stage. Thank you.
So Huntmaster of the Fells for Jackie here. Okay.
Brian won his match into the top 8.
Okay. Brian Olvera in.
Michael Peterson won his top 8 match.
Michael Peterson defeats Jimmy Stoddard
Yeah.
to make his spot into top 8.
All the other matches are. Oh, and Jesse, Brian Oliveira defeated Jesse Young.
Okay.
So Jesse's fingers crossed for top 16.
Okay.
So now the thing is, right now, you want the Huntmaster to transform on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
So that, you know, their Ravager doesn't get to kill your Huntmaster.
Yep.
So
All right,
Michael just drew
players. Welcome to round
a
number
Huntmaster.
5. You have 50
Okay.
minutes. Please
So
begin.
he could choose to wait, transform. You know, both transforms go on the stack. Jackie's goes first, then Michael's goes on the stack. So Michael's will resolve first, and the 2 damage will be. You have the option to deal only 2 damage to Jackie's Huntmaster.
Right. So that's what's happening right here. Jackie's Huntmaster dies. Jackie takes 2, going back down to 8. She'll draw for her turn. Land, it looks like, to add to her Ancient Guard. David Gleischer defeats Andrew Cuneo.
So we did get confirmation on that.
Yep.
That fast match. We figured it was too fast for Cuneo's deck to have managed 2 wins.
There's no way he could have gotten 30 counters on a
Yeah.
schedule for that amount of time.
So we've got a couple of spots in our top 8. Gleischer, Brian Olvera, Michael Peterson.
Well, it means someone's gonna. I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting.
Yeah, maybe somebody sneaks in.
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll see. We'll have it updates down to the wire here at GG's
Draft
Live.
28.
Back to this game, though.
28, please come up to the side event stage.
Hetrick in a little bit of
Event is
trouble.
ready. Draft
I don't know that
28.
Hetrick is in that much trouble.
Increasing savagery on Ravager of the Fells. Wow.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, 9-9, right?
Well, yeah. Yep.
9-9 trample.
Does it get?
It has
oh,
trample.
Ravager of the Fields does have trample. I was wondering why, it wasn't like a birds or something that was getting that bonus.
9-9 trample.
Let's-
Attack in there with
let's-
my guys.
Get him.
Let's go.
Let's get her, guys.
Increasing savagery, so savage. 9, 10, 11. That's enough to.
I don't see Jackie Lee not taking 8 right now.
Yeah, I don't see any way for her to do that. Am I missing
Unless
something?
we have the life total on. I mean, not that there are any good blocks.
James Christensen to the side event stage, please. James Christensen to the public event stage.
So 4, 5.
There's no blocks because of the trample.
Yeah, there's no blocks.
That will stop her from taking 8.
Yeah, I think Jackie's doing that math
James
now.
Christensen
Double,
to the
triple
public
checking.
event stage, please.
Because the most she can absorb is 4 damage of the trample.
Right.
That's the most damage that she can absorb, and there's a bunch of tutus also.
Yep, and that is game. Michael Hetrick wins game 2 to tie it up at 1 game apiece.
So savage.
So savage. Increasing savagery at the end there to give +5/+5 to Ravager of the Fells was enough to defeat Jackie Lee and drive it to a game 3.
Yeah, a lot of times in mirror matches, especially red-green mirror matches, the deck, as long as they're not 75-card mirrors, the deck that has the bigger versions of the creatures, like the mid-range red-green deck, is going to beat the smaller weenie style red-green decks.
Yep.
So increasing savagery just kind of morphs your deck from a virtual 75-card mirror into now I'm the mid-rangey version of your deck. My guy is 5 counters bigger than yours. And then pretty much that's all it takes to win a red-green mirror.
Yeah, so that game was really hinged on the fact that Michael Hetrick drew that Ancient Grudge at the right time to destroy both of Jackie's equipment, both Sword of Feast and Famine and Sword of War and Peace.
And get another transformation out of his Huntmaster.
Yeah, and that completely turned the game around. You can see that Hetrick has boarded in his Primeval Titan for this game from a sideboard.
I think Michael's plan, which I think is a really good plan, is just to be the bigger red-green deck. Even if it's not completely the biggest red-green deck, but every little bit helps.
Yeah, I don't think
Go ahead.
I don't think Jackie Lee's sideboard really allows her to be any bigger than.
No, and I don't see any real way for her to combat that strategy in particular, other than to just, be as fast as possible, which is what her strength is in this matchup. Now with knowing the way that Michael is sideboarded.
Jackie also going back to her sideboard, boarding a couple cards. There, get a good look at her.
Trader's Blood. That's a pretty good answer against the bigger red green deck.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna increasing savagery your guy? I'll take it.
Thanks.
+2/+0.
Thanks.
Attack you.
And just in case it didn't have trample, doesn't Trader's Blood give it trample? Wait, which one is? Yeah, Trader's Blood gives it.
Which one is the one that gives it +2/+0 and trample? There's so many.
There's so many threaten effects.
Active aggression.
This one is the one in
I'm gonna look it
the
up.
recent set. This is the one in Innistrad. It gives trample. It doesn't give any attack bonus. It just gives trample.
You sure? You're right. It isn't from Innistrad. My computer's slow. Somebody's Wi-Fi isn't very fast.
Someone's Wi-Fi isn't very good.
Yeah, my Trader's Blood is not loading. Well,
The chat will tell us. The chat is our secondary gatherer.
yeah.
Maybe that's why it's not working, because you're using whatever site that is and not gatherer.
Oh, here, Trader's Blood. Yeah, it gives it trample and haste. Untap 8 gives it
Yeah,
trample. And
yeah. I mean, all these effects give them haste, or they wouldn't be very good. I'll take that guy and do nothing with them.
Standard
There you
win
go.
box number
You
10,
have him
your
back.
minutes ready to fire.
But
Please come to
I
the
mean,
final
there's so many
stage.
variants on this
Standard win
card.
box number 10.
I like there was one that I think it did give like +3, +0. And
That's the one in
trample.
Rise of Eldrazi.
Yeah, and it cost a lot of mana.
Oh, maybe not.
I think it cost 5.
I thought there was a 4-mana one that gave +2/+0.
I think there might be one that just gives +2/+0 and nothing else.
Yeah, that was.
But there's one that gives like +3/+0 and trample too.
Okay.
I think so.
I don't know. You're likely right, Rashad.
I
Usually
recall
right.
having memories of losing to a card like that.
Okay. So, looks like the players are looking at their opening hands. And Jackie's hand does not look very good.
Yeah, I don't see any green sources or red sources.
Or creatures. Just gonna mulligan that one.
That's a weird one. How do you get that combination of cards?
She's on the play this game. Looks like Michael is going to keep his hand.
And evidently he'd tap that, according to his white sleeves.
I don't get the meaning.
Oh, I think it's because he has a lot of Avacyn's
Richard
priests.
Cook, Jeff Braun, and Oscar Jones. You signed up for
I don't think he's got
standard
any
win
looking
box
into deck list,
41.
but I understand the reference
means
now.
you
Oh,
Thank you for
won't
explaining
win
the
it.
joke
You
to
Oh,
should
me.
go to the
Rashad
public
Miller,
event
joke
stage.
explainer at your service. I'll be here all evening.
So I think we got another update from the match between Shahar and Marcel. Let's see.
We're getting it. Brian David Marshall is getting the juicy details.
Juicy details from none other than coverage reporter Jake Van Lunen, Pro Tour San Diego champion.
Yeah, Pro Tour champion / event coverage person.
Wait, so
Take a
Brian,
vow on
who
it.
was the winner of the Shahar Marcel match?
They were going to game 3
Game
and
3?
realized that they should draw.
Oh, okay.
They got to game 3 and they were like, so, we're going to be on the draw if we make it to the top 8.
We'll
But
be in-
Shahar's like, I don't care. I'd rather be in the top 8, right?
Okay.
So they're both top 8. And Tom Martell is undefeated through 15 rounds of Grand Prix Salt Lake City.
Wow. Was he undefeated in Indianapolis too?
He conceded somebody.
Okay. So play has started here. Turn 1, Birds of Paradise for Jackie Lee.
No turn 1 play for Michael. Tisk.
Let's see what Jackie has on turn 2.
Probably another bird.
Yeah, I don't see anything but a Huntmaster from her hand. Huntmaster and some lands. But
Ooh,
she'll
doesn't play
hold,
the bird.
hold back the birds.
I don't know. That's kind of risky.
Pairings
There
for
isn't,
two-headed
unless she's.
giant
Oh,
from
Arc
tree
Trail.
are going
Arc Trail
out.
would be quite the
You're a
blowout.
two-headed
Sure.
giant.
Although right now,
Pairings
any
from
single
tree are
elimination
going
burn
out.
spell is going to do the same job.
There you see Galvanic Blast taking out Birds of Paradise from Jackie, and Brimstone Volley drawn for Michael. He's got just a bunch of utility cards in his hand. He's got Ancient Grudge and Brimstone Volley. I think I saw Green Sun Zenith, so he's going to have to wait a couple turns before he wants to fire that one off. Is there another spell in his hand? 2 Green Sun Zeniths, maybe?
There's at least one Green Sun Zenith. I think it's just the one, and then the Ancient Grudge and the Brimstone Volley.
What's that last card in his hand? Either way.
Is that Increasing savagery?
So Savage is one of, drawing it both times. So Birds of Paradise again for Jackie. Michael is going to play land and pass again. Really slow start. Jackie, I think here...
Fourth land, just go with the Huntmaster.
Yeah, she's got a pair of swords, Sword of War and Peace and Sword of Feast and Famine, but Ancient Grudge from Michael will be able to deal with those.
You can't live in fear of the Ancient Grudge.
No, I mean, if I were Jackie, obviously you slam the sword down there, but I'm just saying it's going to be a huge tempo swing for Michael.
Oh, it looks like Jackie's considering just playing a sword right now.
Sword and equip.
Sword equip pass.
You probably just want to play the creature, right? Like you get a wolf and you get power on the board.
Yeah, you get 4 power on the board, and even if there's, Arc Trail doesn't get rid of both of them.
Yep.
Arc Trail gets rid of one of the bird, but you live with that.
Looks like she's going to cast Sword of War and Peace and equip it to her Birds of Paradise. Interesting play from Jackie.
It gives it protection from red.
But the sword itself does not get protection from red.
No. Maybe if we could equip the sword with another sword. But then we'd have to equip that sword with the...
Maybe if you've got March of the Machines. But then you can't equip anyway.
Yeah.
So Ancient Grudge will take out Sword of War and Peace, and Michael will play a Birds of his own. So he can fire off that Green Sun Zenith next turn for 4, getting a Huntmaster if he chooses. Looks like that's what Jackie's going to play on her turn. Unless... there's no way she goes for the sword there with...
Okay, no, this is a Huntmaster.
Good. I mean, Ancient Grudge is in the graveyard, right? So Huntmaster of the Fells comes down. Jackie Lee gains 2 life. Gets a wolf.
But what I think Jackie Lee wants to do is play the sword and be able to play the Metamorph, copy of the sword.
Okay.
Just so, she has a sword, even through the Ancient Grudge that's in the graveyard.
She has a Metamorph?
Yeah, she drew a Metamorph.
Okay.
Although Metamorph on Huntmaster is pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Metamorph has been awesome all weekend for this red green deck.
For sure. Metamorph, Phantasmal Image, and the other blue decks.
Just goes to show you, if you make clone just a little bit cheaper, it becomes a playable card.
Yeah.
30.
And give it to any color.
Please come up to the side of the stage. Draft 29 and draft 30. Pairings for the Modern Challenge are going up. If you're in the Modern Challenge, your pairings are going up.
Primeval Titan for Michael Hetrick, getting 2 wolf runs. So he's,
I think we got a different plan for that Metamorph now.
Additionally, much clearer two-headed giant pairings have been posted. Once again, two-headed giant pairings that are much easier to understand have been posted. Please find your seats.
So
I guess the copied Primeval Titan would be able to be a target of Ancient Grudge. So possibly play the sword, debate it out first. You play the sword, you attack, it gets grudged. Is that enough? Do you have enough mana to then play Metamorph also? No. But here's 3 mana for something. No, this is 4. We're going to play full price for our Metamorph.
not wanting to take that 2 life from Phyrexian mana.
We don't want to go back to 20. We've been there before. We've been at 20 life before.
We remember that time, the dark
Sloan,
stage of our life.
Stage for draft number 29.
You know what? Maybe Michael doesn't realize that it's still an artifact.
Additionally, Greg Gadinsky,
Oh, it's interesting.
Gadinsky,
She'll get,
and
you know, the
Patrick Stubb,
2
please come to the public event stage
lands anyway.
for draft number 30. Once
The
again,
pair
Greg
of
Gadinsky
wolf runs.
and
Yeah,
Patrick Stubb
but
for
I
draft
think
number
part
30.
of the allure of having this 6/6 is that, you know, it can battle your opponent 6/6 instead of you taking 6.
Sure. I'm sure Michael will know that Ancient Grudge can get rid of it. I mean, it looks like an artifact.
It does look
Smells
like
like an artifact.
Kinda, I mean, it looks blue. And maybe in his imagination, he's seeing a Primeval Titan.
Well, maybe.
Maybe Michael has a very vivid imagination, which could be his downfall in this match.
So Michael's going to untap and go to his turn. Draws a forest to add to his Green Sun Zenith. Let's see if he wants to fire off that Ancient Grudge with Flashback. Get that Primeval Titan out of the way. Start attacking in with his own Primeval Titan for a bunch of damage.
Maybe you attack first, and then when he blocks, then you Ancient Grudge.
And give it Trample.
I mean, it has Trample, so.
And he's like, oh, no, Ancient Grudge is going to take out that Phyrexian Metamorph.
Man, he knows how the rules work.
And Primeval Titan's going to get in there, get 2 lands. Likely, Catholic Wolfrun's going to pump it up. So it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage from Primeval Titan. Oh, looks like maybe he's not going to pump it up. Instead, he is going to use Green Sun Zenith for 1, 4.
For 4, are we going to get a Huntmaster?
I guess so.
Michael's pretty far ahead, mostly because of Primeval Titan.
Yeah.
Primeval Titan
and
is...
Ancient Grudge.
Yeah. 6/6s are hard for red-based decks to deal with.
It's true. So Jackie draws a land. Now she can have access to her Sword of Feast and Famine, but that, that's not going to be able to deal with Primeval Titan.
Well, I mean, to soak up a little bit of the damage. Soak up the damage plus pump with Wolf Run,
Mm-hmm.
So, with a lot of resources, eventually that Primeval Titan will go down.
Yeah, but I don't know if Jackie has enough time to do that. I don't think she does.
Players, I just want to let you
No, she's
know
at 16, so she could take
we'll be here for
3 more
about
attacks from
30
Primeval
more
Titan.
minutes.
Right.
And, well, no, not really. Because of the
Hetrick can
Wolf
use
Run.
Wolf Run to pump it up.
So, you guys want to get a last-minute signature from him or anything else, please go see him within the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, Jackie's running out of time.
I don't know what she could draw here. That Primeval Titan, the bigger green deck. Wow. I mean, it makes sense, right? We were talking to Ricky Sitter about Michael Hetrick's deck, and he said his worst match was ramp, so why not change your red-green deck into a ramp deck for the mirror match? So Jackie's going to play Sword of Feast and Famine, equip it to her Wolf token. I think that last card in Michael's hand is an Ancient Grudge. How insane would that be? Still had all these Ancient Grudges.
That would be, that would be a devastating blow. Not that Jackie isn't in dire straits now, but if she decided to attack with the Wolf token and Ancient Grudge, blows up the sword, blocks, trade Wolf tokens, and you're just.
It's Brimstone Volley. Brimstone Volley is going to take out the Wolf in response. Jackie can re-equip the sword to the Birds of Paradise if she chooses, but...
I mean, the situation is still just as bad.
Yeah.
And we have a shuffle for some reason?
I'm not sure.
Oh, we were shuffling Michael's deck.
Yep,
from the Green Sun Zenith a while ago.
So Jackie is going to equip the Birds of Paradise with Sword of Feast and Famine. I don't think she wants to attack it. I don't think she can win if she does that, but I'm not sure what she can do to win here.
Attacking just untaps her land, and honestly, that birds can hold back 2 damage.
Right, but that's not.
Particularly, I guess it could hold back 3 damage if Jackie just blocks Primeval Titan with it. But it's really not.
Well, I mean, Michael can give trample at any one of his creatures, right?
Yeah.
That's 6, 7, 8. And then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage. That's what Jackie's at.
Well, she soaks up 3 of it. So she's not dead.
But Michael's not going to play a
spell
this turn, so Huntmaster's going to transform.
Right, to 1.
First Primeval Titan's going to get a pair of lands.
Draft number
that's not much Jackie Lee can do.
Yeah.
Even she's going to survive this turn. But looking at her deck, I don't see a miracle card here that's going to get her out of it.
Pump up Primeval Titan for 3, 7, 8. So that's 14, 15, 16 from the Wolf. That's 16. And that's the game, it looks like.
Yeah, the block should have been on a Primeval Titan because you soak up the most damage. But I mean, living one turn extra doesn't mean very much.
Yeah, Jackie's just triple checking the math. I mean, she's not one to concede. We saw that in her match against James Searles yesterday. And she's doing the math. 6 plus 3 plus 4, and that's game. Michael Hetrick wins the match 2-1 and will proceed to top 8 here at Grand Prix Salt Lake City.
We believe